Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of To The Point. Today's topic of discussion is Global Plastic Pollution Treaty Negotiations. First of all, let's see why it is in the news. Global negotiations for a legally binding treaty to end plastic pollution are resuming in Geneva from 5th to 14th August 2025. This pivotal meeting, part of the United Nations Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, INC 5.2, aims to address the growing crisis of plastic waste, particularly in marine environments. The proposed treaty is expected to be one of the most consequential environmental agreements since the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. Now let's discuss about plastic pollution. Plastic has become a cornerstone of modern industry, used across sectors from healthcare to packaging. However, its environmental cost is immense, with over 460 million tons of plastic produced annually and only 9% recycled. The rising production and waste of plastic are causing significant environmental degradation, with 20 million tons of plastic leaking into the environment every year. By 2060, plastic production could nearly triple, exacerbating waste and pollution with severe consequences for marine and terrestrial ecosystems. Now let's talk about key issues in the treaty negotiations. The INC 5.2 negotiations aim to tackle plastic pollution throughout its life cycle, from production to disposal. Key points of contention remain regarding capping plastic production. Countries like oil-rich nations are resistant to any limitations on plastic production, arguing that such measures could create trade and economic barriers. Eliminating harmful chemicals. Calls to phase out harmful chemicals from plastic production have been met with resistance, especially from countries with major plastic industries. Focus on recycling and waste management. Some countries advocate for focusing on improving waste management and recycling, while others push for broader measures addressing production and consumption. Now let's discuss about India's position. India has emphasized that any treaty should be reached through consensus. It has opposed curbing primary polymer production and any trade barriers that could affect its economic growth. India's position is to prioritize reducing plastic pollution through waste management and recycling rather than limiting production, reflecting the country's broader economic and development priorities. Now lastly, moving on to conclusion. The outcome of the INC 5.2 talks will determine whether the world moves toward a comprehensive, enforceable treaty to combat plastic pollution or continues with ineffective, piecemeal solutions. This will be a defining moment in addressing one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time. Now is the time for practice question. Consider the following statements about INC 5.2 meeting on the Global Plastic Treaty. 1. The INC 5.2 negotiations were held in Paris, France. 2. The negotiations were hosted by the United Nations Environment Programme. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Thanks for watching. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe. and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.